What up there, guys? This is Jughead82, and this is a video response to a really great YouTuber on here. He does a lot of wrestling vids, he does a lot of commentary about just things in general, and his name is SpinnerNet1. I've been subscribed to him for a minute, and a minute means a long time, or about a long time, about probably a year and something, probably almost 2 years. And this video is really good. It's basically, was I ever a real wrestling fan? And it's basically the fact that basically Spinnernet has, his channel was mostly put into the fact that it was dealing with wrestling. It was dealing with, the aspects of wrestling, how wrestling is, and all of that. And I took from that video the fact that as I watched the video, I related to some of the things I do for myself. I'm a person who, I still watch wrestling. I still watch it, but I don't watch it as much as I used to. And I looked at that video and I thought to myself, man, Jughead, you really don't watch as much wrestling as you do. But are you still really a wrestling fan? And the only thing I gotta say is, hell yeah, I'm still a wrestling fan. I still enjoy wrestling. When people, like when I'm at work, and I talk about wrestling, they always say, man, the Attitude Era was the best area of wrestling. And yeah, I'm not going to lie, the Attitude Era was a great time for wrestling. I mean, it brought out a bunch of stars, but guess what? That was a time when the WWF was really struggling with ratings, and they really was trying to pull shit out their ass to get viewers and really pull viewers in. And it took people like Paul Heyman, because when ECW did that little mini invasion back in 97, the beginning of 97, that's when Vince McMahon got the idea, hey, maybe I should put Derek Geller some attitude and give him the same attitude as the ECW wrestlers. So that's when Attitude happened. Attitude didn't happen overnight, but they were going against WCW. At that point, WCW was whooping the WWF's ass. And yeah, they talk about, oh, yeah, that was the best time. I've been a wrestling fan since I was a baby, since I was 4 fucking years old. And I used to watch Saturday Night Main Event, and I used to watch Mid-South Wrestling, and that was in the South, Southern area, and that's where I'm from, and that's what we used to watch. I used to watch it with my granddad. I used to watch wrestling. I used to see Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. He was the first wrestler that I consider one of my favorite wrestlers, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. He was like in the best fucking shape. He was like the biggest motherfucking wrestler. He was bigger than Hulk Hogan to me. And that was my wrestler. I remember getting the action figure for Christmas, and I remember all that. And he was one of my favorite wrestlers. I watched wrestling all the way then, and watched all the way wrestling, and I still watch wrestling today. And yeah, it's a little bit stale most of the time, but sometimes wrestling will pull your ass back in there. I like wrestling now just as I liked it then, but I know now I'm not as more ooh. But when something gets me in wrestling, I'm really enjoying it. I'm not a person that, like I say, because of work and because of this and that, I don't get to watch wrestling as I usually watch it. But I still watch wrestling. You can ask anybody when I talk about wrestling, I talk about wrestling. And yeah, people will say, well, wrestling's fake. I don't give a damn if wrestling is fake, because you want to tell you why? The physicality is real. When you see wrestlers they're taking bumps. That mat is not a fucking mattress. Those are fucking people. There's a guy I know who actually went to the WCW power plant in Atlanta when WCW was still around and actually trained with those guys. And if you ask him if that wrestling fakes, he will fucking snap on your ass, because it's not as fake as you think. A bump to the ring is not a fucking like, oh, this is it. Yeah, predetermined. Yeah, the matches are predetermined. But you can watch a really good ass wrestling match and really be entertained by it. You can see some of the greatest wrestling matches you've ever seen, from WrestleMania 3 when Macho Man Randy Savage took on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, to WrestleMania 10 when Bret Hart took on Owen Hart. You can see all these great matches. And there was a time, and I won't lie, that I was not a true diehard wrestling fan. There was a time around 93 to 94 where I was not watching any wrestling. I just pretty much just went away from it. And I missed a lot of good shit. It was, Yeah, I missed WrestleMania 10. I didn't get to see the Owen Hart Bret Hart feud. I didn't get to see a whole lot of things in WCW. Matter of fact, I went on the WCW bandwagon around early '93, and that was when around the time I actually stopped watching wrestling. But I will say this much. When I got back into it and started watching wrestling again, I was hooked again. When the whole NWO thing started, when the whole, you know, Attitude Era started, with all that started out. But I have been a soul wrestling fan, and I can show you from the DVDs I've got. Here's some DVDs I got right here. ECW Bloodsport, great DVD. Royal Rumble 2008, great DVD. The Rise and Fall of ECW, great DVD. Now this right here is still a great DVD. It was during the invasion time, and this is Rebellion from Europe. This is a really great DVD if you ever get this. The Life and Times of Eddie Guerrero. This is this is the Eddie Guerrero story, cheating death, stealing life. These are just the DVDs. Should I keep going? I have a lot of VHSs. I have a whole lot of VHSs. Just to show you some of them. I'm not going to show them all because this is a short video. Hopefully it's a short video. But I have a bunch of them. Here's TLC. Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. That's one. I have WCW. WCW NWO. This is the Superstar Series. This is Sting Unmasked. I have WWF of Austin versus McMahon. I have the Three Faces of Foley. Excuse me about bumping my mic. I have another NWO WCW Superstar Series. Goldberg. Who's next? The Best of WrestleMania. This is from 1 to 14. I even have some old Coliseum tapes. They're a little fucked up, but I have the Best of the Steel Cage Challenge. This has Hogan, Macho Man, you name it, it has them on there. I have a whole bunch of wrestling cassette tapes. I have a whole bunch of wrestling DVDs. Am I not a wrestling fan? Hell no. Because if I wasn't a wrestling fan, I would have all this. I have a whole bunch of wrestling games from back in the day. I have a whole bunch of wrestling shit. I think for me, wrestling is what I, as a kid and as a fucking adult, have enjoyed. Period. Whether it was good, bad, happy, sad, anything like that. Because I liked what wrestling brought to me. It was entertainment. It was entertaining to me. And still, there's matches that I will watch on wrestling that will still get me. They will still click to me. And I just like them. I mean, yeah, when people sit there and say, wrestling's fake, yeah, I'm like one of them motherfuckers. It's still real to me, damn it. I'm just fucking with you like that. But I still watch wrestling. I enjoy the product because it is what it is. There are some times in wrestling I sit there and say, what the fuck? There was a bunch of what the fuck moments that especially the WWE did. First of all, what they did with the Cruiserweight title, I thought that was garbage. They didn't have to do that. There's been so many wrestlers also in the WWE I felt they treated like shit. Shelton Benjamin. There's a bunch of wrestlers, you can name it, that truly wrestle better than most of the top wrestlers they have in the company today, but they never really put an investment into building those wrestlers. Because, trust me, you can have a wrestler with a really stupid-ass gimmick, but if that wrestler can't really put on a really good match, in the end, that wrestler ain't shit. And I've seen a bunch of wrestlers get built up to the biggest pedestal they can, and they just fucking flatter. They don't click with the fans. And I think there's been so many wrestlers that the WWE has really fucked over, and it's sad because there's so many wrestlers I felt even as a kid that I was like, why this wrestler isn't as big as they could be, because they've really proven it. Whether it was on the mic, whether it was in the ring, or whether it was just doing what they do. It was a bunch of wrestlers I kind of, was mad at WWE for. Why? Why? Why so serious? But seriously, I think I'm a wrestling fan regardless. I'll be a wrestling fan until I'm 80 years old. I'm an old jiggy, and I'm still, I'm going to still watch it. I, like I say, have fallen out from the product more and more in the sense that, yeah, TNA, they have a whole lot of shit that they need to fix. And I watch TNA, and if I can get a chance to watch Ring of Honor or any other wrestling product, I'll watch it because I was never always just a WWF guy, a WWE guy. Sure, it was something that I started out with, but I started watching WCW, ECW, XPW, you name it. I was watching that shit. And as a wrestling fan, I enjoy wrestling. I enjoy the actual shit of actually putting on a good match and actually giving people what they pay for. Because if you give someone what they pay for, they're going to enjoy the fucking product. Now, the WWE at this time has a mindset of an ego where we're the WWE. There's nobody else you can watch. So you got to watch us. I don't see that. I see that there are other wrestling companies out there that are eventually going to get some more notoriety. They're going to get some publicity, and that people will eventually say, "Hey, this shit is better than WWE. I'm going to watch it." So, am I a wrestling fan? Hell yeah. Does that make me not be a real wrestling fan because I don't watch wrestling every fucking Monday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, any other night? No, because you don't have to constantly watch it to know that you're a wrestling fan. I'm a wrestling fan because, yeah, I enjoyed what wrestling was. I know wrestling can still be what it is better and to still be put onto a stage that people will enjoy. I'm I'm gonna sit there and probably get a bootleg DVD of WrestleMania 28 because I want to see it, even though it's already happened. I want to see it. I want to actually see the pay-per-view. But yeah, this is a video response to Spinnernet 1. This video has been going on for almost 12 minutes. But I want to just say, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't watch wrestling as I used to, but that does not make me a real wrestling fan. I feel I'm still a real wrestling fan. I still have tapes. I still, every now and then, I pop one of these motherfuckers in and watch the glory days of wrestling. But yeah, this is Jughead82, signing off.